Hey, let me tell you a story that completely changed the way I understand attraction. A few years ago, I was deep into studying social skills, dating psychology, and human behavior, not casually, obsessively, analyzing almost every conversation I had with women, trying to figure out why some men could instantly make women feel drawn to them, while others did everything right and still got ignored. I wanted to understand the invisible rules, the patterns, the emotional triggers that most men never even notice. Back then, I had a serious problem. Whenever I met a woman, things would always start one of three ways. She either saw me as a potential boyfriend, someone she could imagine dating seriously, a friend she enjoyed talking to but could never picture with, or someone she would probably forget existed the moment we said goodbye. And for a long time I lived in that last category, constantly wondering why I couldn't make an impression that lasted. I wasn't rude, I wasn't boring, I wasn't unattractive, I had no glaring flaws, yet somehow I was just invisible, blending into the background. So I did what most guys do. I worked on my confidence, I practiced conversations, I tried to be fun, interesting, and socially acceptable, and that's when something strange happened. I stopped getting outright rejection, but I started getting stuck. The friend zone over and over again, a place where women like me enough to enjoy my company, but never enough to want more. It was frustrating, confusing, and made me start questioning everything I thought I knew about attraction. That's when I realized something most men never do. Being liked is not the same as being desired. Being respected is not the same as being remembered. And the difference between the two, I discovered, is emotion. The invisible force that drives connection, desire, and long-term attraction. And let me explain. Most men talk to women the same way they talk to coworkers, exchanging facts, opinions, and logistical information. Where do you work? What do you study? Where are you from? Do you like this? Do you like that? Conversations like this are logical, neutral, safe, but completely forgettable. Then I met someone who completely shifted my perspective. He said something that hit me like a punch to the chest, something I had never considered. Women don't bond through logic, they bond through emotional expression, he said, and at first I didn't understand. I thought he was exaggerating. And then he added, the fastest way to unlock that, the real secret, is listening like a therapist. At first I didn't get it. I thought attraction was about saying the right things, impressing her, being funny, having a plan, standing out with style or charm, but he explained it differently, something that made sense immediately. You don't create attraction by talking more, by being clever, by showing off. You create it by making her feel, by creating an emotional experience she can't forget. Here's what that actually means. Every woman has a lock on her emotions. At first, that lock is tight, guarded, and impossible to force open, but you can get her to open it herself, slowly, naturally, and the moment she does, the dynamic changes completely. It's subtle, powerful, and completely overlooked by most men. The key is emotional questions, not clever questions, not memorized scripts, not pickup lines, questions that actually make her express how she feels, questions that dig deeper than the surface, questions that touch her curiosity, her memories, her passions, her fears. Let me give you an example. If you ask a woman what she studies, she will give you information, a fact, something she could tell anyone. But if you ask her why she chose it, why it matters to her, why she enjoys it or hates it, now she gives you emotion. She gives you pride, passion, doubt, frustration, joy, curiosity. That's the difference between talking to her mind and talking to her heart. But here's the part most men completely miss. When she starts talking, you don't interrupt, you don't redirect, you don't make it about yourself. You listen fully, intently, letting her feel heard, validated, and understood, like a therapist would. And the more she talks, the more she reveals, the more emotional connection grows. And when she finishes, you don't change the topic, you go deeper. She says she loves her city, you ask why. She mentions she's passionate about art, you ask what it gives her emotionally, how it makes her feel, what memories it brings up. Each answer becomes the doorway to the next, and before long, she's sharing feelings she hasn't told anyone else, creating a connection most men will never know exists. This is where attraction actually begins, not because of clever lines, not because of charm, not because of gifts, but because of how she feels while she talks to you. Let me tell you about a girl I dated. She was very clear about her boundaries. She believed intimacy should take time, and she wanted to feel a connection before anything physical happened. When she came over, there was no expectation, no pressure. So instead of trying to impress her or move too fast, I focused on engaging her emotionally. We took a personality test together, but instead of rushing through it, I asked her to explain her answers, to tell stories about herself, to reflect on experiences she had long forgotten. Before we even finished the test, the energy between us shifted, the connection deepened, and the attraction became almost tangible. Here's why. Men experience desire visually. They respond to physical stimuli. Women experience desire emotionally. It's built through connection, feeling vulnerability, and trust. And when you become the source of those emotions, attraction doesn't need to be forced. It grows naturally, almost magically. But let me warn you about something. If all you do is listen, without direction or purpose, you risk becoming emotional support, someone she likes but doesn't desire. This technique is powerful, but it must be balanced. It's a key, not the whole door. The real secret isn't memorizing questions. It's understanding how emotional conversations work, knowing how to create moments where she expresses feelings naturally. Once you understand that, you can create connection anywhere, with anyone, in a way that feels effortless and memorable. And that's when conversations stop being forgettable. That's when people remember how they felt when they were with you. That's when attraction becomes natural, when the connection sticks in her mind long after the conversation ends. If you want me to break this down deeper, step by step, showing you exactly how to structure these conversations for maximum effect, let me know. Because once you understand this skill, you'll never look at conversations the same way again.